So, let's talk about Mr. Fantastic.
Oh boy.
So, we heard
Krasinski fans in shambles.
Look, everybody loves Pedro Pascal right now. Like, after Mandalorian and The Last of Us, people love him. A lot of
He's
outlets,
apparently daddy.
yeah, I mean, look, a lot of outlets are just saying he's outright cast. The report we got was Deadline being like, look, it's the same as the Robert Pattinson and multiple other reports, like Haley Steinfeld. I think they were first at being like, she's in talks, probably got it, but it's hasn't been signed on the dotted line. That's what we're hearing in regards to Pascal. I'm honestly, if he gets it, I'm good with it. I am good with it.
Yeah.
I would need to see something of him in that role because I like Pascal. Right, Last of Us, fantastic. No pun intended. No, I love the Mandalorian. I don't know if I think he's right for Mr. Fantastic or not. It's not. I don't hate the casting, but it's one of the first ones for a long time where I've just had to actually think and be like, you know what, I'm gonna have to see what he does in this.
Yeah,
like I assume it'll be good because he's yet again playing a daddy role, but this time it's going to be his own kids.
Yeah. You know, I am 100% on the same page as Mitch. I heard about this casting like about a month ago through the grapevine, and you know, people who pay attention watching Teen App, I commented on it. I was like, you know, I heard a thing about Mr. Fantastic that I'm not 100% sold on. And I think I made some joke about fatherhood. And so I was like, it's Pascal, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to get the person who told me in trouble. But I like everything Mitch said. I love Pedro Pascal. I think he's an incredible actor. I love him in The Mandalorian. I love him in anything I've ever seen him in. And I know that he has incredible range. I know that he, as distinct as he is, tonally can be a chameleon. That said, I am personally struggling to see the vision of his Reed Richards. I think that there is an affable nature to Reed that requires this very interesting balance between Reed kind of having his head up his own ass, but not realizing it, and being like very well-meaning and kind, but having the propensity to come off like a egotistical nightmare. And like it's just such a complex characterization that I'm like trying to imagine how Pedro does it. Not even if he can, how he does it. Yeah. That's what I'm struggling with the most is that, like, you know, like I'm prepared for like the morally, personally complex Reed Richards, and I'm just like, okay,
so
show me, you know.
I think what's up, Ricardo?
No, I was gonna say because you remember he played the Viper in Game of Thrones, and you was talking about him playing an egotistical character. Just mix that, throw it in with some Joel.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
Mr. Fantastic right there.
If he can, because like if he can like act that he can't read the room, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though, that like exactly what you said. Where like take a little bit of Viper, take a little bit of Joel, you get the worst parts of Reed. I want to see how Pedro melds that with this kind of like wide-eyed science fair boy who's just like happy to explain science to his family. You know what I mean?
I have a theory on this casting that might make some people groan and probably piss some people off. And trust me, as a Fantastic Four fanatic, I absolutely love that team. Always have advocated for them in their films. People, it's very well documented on this channel on the podcast. Yeah. I think Pedro is not going to be Reed Richards, you know. I essentially think they're going to take, imagine Tom Holland's Spider-Man, age him 20 years, and that's your Reed Richards. I think they're going to try to do the Iron Man effect, the Doctor Strange style, where there's quips and emotion and you can see that there's more going on than Reed Richards in the actual just comics, because he is such a hard character to read up until you get into him, into the complexity, and take him away and have him like deconstructed. You cannot sell Fantastic Four with that type of lead. And I know we're getting, Reed is going to be the co-lead, and it's probably going to be Sue Storm. That's great. But he needs to have an energy. And if he doesn't, I have a feeling he doesn't come off like an MCU film. Does what I'm making make any sense? Like what I'm trying to say here? Like it needs to look like it fits into the MCU for the fans to go, I like that. You know, he's got to have that quip and that bubble to him that people associate with everything MCU, for better or for worse.
I think as well, it's kind of, it's hard to look at Reed in a bubble, right? Like it's not like this is your Spider-Man cast and this is your Iron Man cast and this is your Captain America and whatever. They're all singular characters. The Fantastic Four are literally four. Like the four people are one character, right? So you're literally only seeing a quarter of everything. So like maybe when they announce the Sue and the Ben and the Johnny, then it will start coming together a bit more.
Right.
But I think as it stands right now, you're only seeing, or at least for me anyway, you're only seeing like literally a quarter of it. So you're not. No.
I mean,
because obviously they need the chemistry between everyone as well. So
that's going to be paramount. That is going to be paramount, and everybody's chemistry has to have like a distinct flavor too. Like, that's going to be part of the rub. And I mean, I do hear what you're saying. I do agree with it in part. I just feel like I think your description of like the Tom Holland Spider-Man thing is apt, because again, there is that like, oh hey guys, like I'm happy to be here. Let me science, you know. I do see that, and like I see it. I just, again, like I'm not fully sold yet. Like I tweeted it the other day. I was like, whenever the story started making the rounds, I was like, I'm not sold. I'm excited to be proven wrong. You know, like I'm like because I'm not sold on it. If I had my druthers, if I got to make the decisions, it would have been Adam Driver or Matt Smith. I think that there is an intrinsic awkwardness to those men that like they give off the vibe of being a happy person, but they're so weird and awkward that like I'm like, yeah, like that is Reed's vibe. Is that he's nice, but kind of deeply uncomfortable all the time. and that you can kind of spin out the way that like Adam Driver is a nice guy. Nobody has ever had anything negative to say about him. But then you also get that clip of him with like the Ferrari movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're like, I don't know. F you. Next question. We're like, I can see Reed in there. And I think another element to it that, again, like I'm waiting to be sold with Pedro. He's too hot. He's too hot. I'm sorry. Like, part of Reed's charm, the issue with Reed is that he can't know how hot he is. And
well, what
part
about
of that,
the first Fantastic Four movie?
He is smoking, but he looks so much like Reed Richards. It works. But I on Rutherford, that you just peeled that man off the page. And I defend those movies, but like Adam Driver, Matt Smith, they have that like, and I don't like the term because I don't like how disparaging it sounds at first, but they have that kind of like ugly handsome, you know, where like they have a look and it's a good look and they're very good looking, but they aren't like traditionally handsome, if that makes sense. You know, Pedro Pascal is as leading man as you get. So for me, I'm almost like, yeah, I don't know how this Reed. I don't know how you're going to convince me this Reed like is awkward around girls because he looks like Pedro Pascal. Like I don't like that. That's part of my like I don't fully buy it yet because it's Pedro. Like Pedro Pascal is known for three things. He's a dad. He's daddy.
Yeah.
He's a dad and he's daddy. This is the way. Like that is Pedro Pascal. Is like he plays a dad in everything. everybody has thoughts about him that I cannot say on a YouTube channel. And then like he's also like the guy who wears a mask, you know. So I'm I'm that's part of my hang up there that I'm like, I'm ready to be proven wrong though.
Yeah.
I want to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
I think I see
excited to
where
be proven
everybody's coming from. Like, we're all kind of like, let's just wait. I think we're all at a wait and see approach. It's like he's a good actor.
My main thing, right, is I there was two very distinct people that I refused to ever acknowledge being in this role if it were to happen. Right. One of them was Krasinski after Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Thank God we got that out of the way. It didn't work. Let's move on.
Terrible.
The other one, Jared's going to love this, was Matt Smith.
Oh yeah.
I have
he was
an
in the
actual
Venom.
I have a passion for that man that I hate him. I don't know what it is. There's something about him that I just don't like. I don't think he can act. I hate the way he looks. It's literally everything. It's like
Is
if
it
he was
Morbius?
Reed, I would have had a meltdown.
Was it Morbius? Was it the dance?
No, it was long before that.
I'm doing the dance right now. You can't see me. Have sex.
I'm
have
surprised.
sex.
Are you wearing the
Poopy
Adidas
pants,
Miles
yeah.
suit as well?
No, I got on my Crocs, my sweatpants, and my QAnon Anonymous T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Have sex.
yeah. So, I mean, look. By the time this podcast comes out, we might even have this officially confirmed or an actual casting. We don't know. It's still a rumor at this stage.
Might even have the Javier Bardem Galactus rumors confirmed.
True. So
I'm into that. I am very into that.
we'll
He was my doom, and
Yeah.
I'm in shambles about
Yeah.
it.